We hosted movie night. I made a snack spread. His family walked in with pizza, wings, and a cooler. We figured you might have tried something weird again, his sister said. I ate their pizza, quietly, while Googling new locks for the front door. I always believed that opening my home to my boyfriend's family would strengthen our bond. Living in a cozy suburb of Chicago, I envisioned warm gatherings filled with laughter and shared memories. But as time unfolded, I realized that some doors, once opened, invite in more than just guests. From the moment I met his family, there was an undercurrent of tension. His sister, in particular, had a knack for making me feel small. She'd comment on my cooking, my decor, even the way I laughed. It was subtle, but the message was clear. I wasn't up to their standards. Determined to bridge the gap, I decided to host a movie night. I spent the entire day preparing a spread that showcased my culinary skills. Artisanal cheeses, homemade dips, and a selection of charcuterie that would make any food lover's mouth water. I wanted to impress them, to show that I was worthy of their son and brother. As the evening approached, I lit candles, set out cozy blankets, and queued up a selection of classic films. I was nervous but hopeful. This was my chance to connect, to find common ground. The doorbell rang, and I took a deep breath before opening the door. There they stood, arms laden with pizza boxes, containers of wings, and a large cooler. His sister smirked as she stepped inside. We figured you might have tried something weird again, she said, her eyes scanning my carefully prepared spread. My heart sank. All my efforts, all my time spent curating the perfect evening, dismissed in an instant. I forced a smile, swallowing the lump in my throat. Make yourselves at home, I murmured, stepping aside to let them in. They settled in, diving into their store-bought fare, barely acknowledging the food I'd prepared. I sat quietly, nibbling on a slice of their pizza, my mind racing. I felt like an outsider in my own home, my gestures of goodwill trampled under their indifference. As the movie played, I found myself disengaged, my thoughts consumed by the evening's events. I realized that this wasn't just about a movie night or a spread of food. It was about respect, about boundaries. And it was clear that mine had been crossed. That night, as they laughed and chatted, oblivious to my discomfort, I made a decision. I excused myself, retreated to the bedroom, and began researching new locks for the front door. Not just the physical kind, but the metaphorical ones as well. It was time to set boundaries, to reclaim my space and my peace of mind. The next morning, I had a candid conversation with my boyfriend. I expressed how I felt, the disrespect I experienced, and the changes I needed to implement. To my relief, he understood and supported me. Together, we established guidelines for future visits, ensuring that my efforts were acknowledged and my home remained a place of comfort and respect. Setting boundaries wasn't easy, but it was necessary. And as time went on, I found that those locks, both physical and emotional, helped me create a space where I felt valued and secure. The locks were changed within the week. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Just called a guy, had it done, and handed my boyfriend a copy of the new key. He raised an eyebrow, but didn't say much. I appreciated that. Things were calm for a little while. His family didn't come around, and I got a breather. My boyfriend and I were doing all right, and I started to feel like maybe, just maybe, we were back on track. Then came the phone call. It was his mom, on speaker, while we were having dinner. I hope you know what you're doing, she said. He's not going to wait forever for you to grow up. I froze mid-bite. What's that supposed to mean? I asked. Oh, sweetie, she sighed, like I was a burden she had to explain. You're just not his type. He needs someone who fits in. Someone who doesn't isolate him from his family. I looked at him. He didn't defend me. Didn't say a word. Just kept eating. I got up, walked to the sink, and dumped my plate. That was strike two. After that, I started noticing little things. His phone would light up with messages from his sister. Stuff like, she's still playing house? So, when's your real girl showing up? Bet she locked the door again, lol. I wasn't snooping. He just wasn't careful. And I guess he didn't care if I saw. Strike 3 came fast. We were invited to his cousin's baby shower. I didn't want to go. I told him. He said if I didn't, they'd take it the wrong way. So I went. I brought a gift, wore a nice dress, tried to smile. His sister took one look at me and whispered something to her mom. They both laughed. I brushed it off. Until I went to the bathroom and heard them talking outside the door. She's trying too hard, his mom said. She always is, his sister replied. Desperate much. I walked out straight past them, didn't say a word. My boyfriend caught up with me outside. Hey, what's wrong? Your family hates me. He shrugged. They just don't know you. No, I said. They don't want to. We didn't talk much on the drive home. I stared out the window the whole time. That night, I sat on the couch in silence while he played video games. His headset on, laughing with friends, like nothing was wrong. Like I didn't just get emotionally jumped by his entire bloodline. That's when I knew I was alone in this. But I wasn't gonna let them win. Not like this. I started planning. Quietly. I stopped cooking for movie nights. Stopped cleaning up after him. Stopped inviting him into my world. If he wanted me to be less weird, then fine, I'd be invisible. But here's where it gets interesting. One day, he came home to find all his stuff neatly packed in boxes. Labeled. Sorted. Clean. What the hell is this? I think it's time you stayed somewhere else for a while, I said. He laughed, like it was a joke. Then he saw my face. You're serious. Dead serious. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just stood there. He tried to argue. Said I was being dramatic. Said I was overreacting. Then he threatened to call his sister and have her come pick him up. Perfect, I said. Let her do one useful thing for once. He stared at me, grabbed his stuff, and walked out. I closed the door behind him, locked it, sat on the floor, and breathed. But don't get it twisted. This isn't the end. Not even close. Because 2 weeks later, they came back. All of them. And they didn't knock. It was a Saturday. I was in the kitchen, halfway through making tea, when I heard the front door rattle. Not knock. Rattle. Like someone was trying to turn the handle. My heart dropped. I peeked through the peephole. There they were. His sister, his mom, and, yeah, him. Standing there like they were about to host an intervention or maybe a coup. Cooler in hand again. Pizza boxes, too. I didn't open the door. His sister banged on it. Loud. Open up. We know you're in there. I didn't say a word. I stood frozen, one hand on the door, the other shaking slightly. Then I saw his mom lean down and pull something from her bag. A spare key. Y'all, they tried to use a copy of the old key to get in. Luckily, I wasn't stupid. I'd changed the locks. But I'll never forget the look of confusion that slowly melted into rage on his sister's face when the key didn't turn. You changed the locks? She yelled. Are you serious? I didn't respond. She started yelling louder. This is his house too. Let me be clear. His name was never on the lease. Never paid rent. Nothing. My place. My name. My rules. After about 5 minutes of them trying to guilt-trip me through the door, I called the cops. Didn't yell. Didn't threaten. Just made the call. Hi, yes, I have some unwanted guests trying to enter my home. They're using an old key and refusing to leave. The dispatcher was calm. Asked a few questions. Promised to send someone. I stood by the window. Watched them argue among themselves. He knocked once more. Come on, don't make this worse than it is. Sir, you brought your mom and sister to force your way into my house. That's already bad enough. The police showed up within 10 minutes. 2 officers. Professional. Calm. They spoke to them first. Then came to me. I explained the situation. Showed proof of lease. Photos of the packed boxes from when he moved out. Screenshots of his sister's texts. My receipts were in order. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said not yet. Just wanted them gone. So they left. But not without a scene. His sister shouted, "This isn't over." Cool. I never expected it to be. That night, I sat on the couch, lights off, no sound but the ticking clock and my own thoughts. This wasn't just about disrespect anymore. It felt like war. So I started documenting everything. Texts, voicemails, weird deliveries I didn't order, random knocks in the middle of the night. And yeah, it got creepy. One morning I found a pizza box on my porch. Nothing inside. Just a single note written on the lid. Still not good enough. No name. No number. Just that. I kept it. Taped it inside a folder. Then came the real twist. My landlord called me. Said he got an anonymous tip that I was housing multiple people and causing disturbances. Said he got photos. Photos of his family standing outside my house. They were trying to get me evicted. That was the moment I knew this was bigger than drama. This was calculated. So I made a move. I called a lawyer. The lawyer wasn't cheap, but she was worth every penny. She listened to everything. The unannounced visits, the spare key attempt, the slander to the landlord, the harassment. I showed her the texts, the pizza box note, even the late-night knocks I'd caught on my door cam. She looked me in the eye and said, "This isn't just family drama anymore. This is targeted harassment." So we filed a cease and desist. Sent straight to his mom, his sister, and him. 3 names. 3 letters. My lawyer said it was the first step, but if they pushed back, we'd escalate. They didn't take it well. His sister posted some vague rant online, calling me unstable and obsessed. Someone sent it to me. I took a screenshot and forwarded it to my lawyer. Then my ex, by now he was very much an ex, showed up at my work. I work front desk at a local clinic. It's a small place. Quiet. He stood in the lobby, arms crossed, trying to keep his voice down, but I saw the panic in his eyes. "Why are you doing this? My mom's freaking out. My sister might lose her job because of this." I stared at him. "Good." He blinked. "I gave you so many chances," I said. "You sat there while they insulted me. Let them walk into my house with a pizza like I was a joke. You laughed. You watched. And now you're surprised? They're my family. What was I supposed to do?" "You were supposed to protect me," I said. "Not serve me up." I walked back behind the desk. "You need to leave. Now." He looked like he wanted to say more, but I picked up the phone. "Do I need to call security?" He left. And that was the last time I saw him in person. But it wasn't over. About a week later, the landlord called again. This time, apologizing. Said he looked into things, saw the video footage I'd provided, and realized the complaints were fake. Apparently, the anonymous emails came from one IP address. My ex's sister's job? IT. She'd used her work laptop to harass me. My lawyer moved fast. Sent a report straight to her employer with a formal warning from us. I didn't ask for her to be fired. I just wanted the truth out. But she was fired anyway. I didn't feel bad. Her mom? Turned out she was also involved in some shady HOA nonsense, reporting me to the neighborhood board, trying to label me as a disturbance. The board reviewed everything. They not only dismissed it, they banned her from submitting complaints about me ever again. My ex? He went quiet. Until I got a message. One single text. "You ruined everything." I didn't reply. But let me be honest here, for a moment I did wonder. Did I go too far? Then I remembered the feeling of being locked in my own home. Having to pretend I wasn't bothered. Being laughed at while I tried to make peace. So I answered the question out loud, to no one. No. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped letting you ruin me. And now? I changed my number. Moved to a new place across town. A small apartment, just me, a cat I adopted, and real peace. No pizza boxes on the porch. No fake smiles. No noise. I learned something the hard way. Silence isn't always peace. Sometimes silence is someone walking all over you. Now, my silence is power. And just between us, every time I pass a pizza place, I smile. Because I remember the girl who sat there quietly and then Googled new locks. And I remember the woman who finally locked them all out for good.